The Chicago Bears football team is in the process of making a return, even if in a limited capacity, with the start of the offseason program. Today, the coach will make a significant announcement to the team, as all players will gather simultaneously in the hall. Let's explore this situation, and there are several goals I hope the group can achieve during this offseason period. Athletes are clear to return to the training center, as teams with new coaching staffs can resume their activities starting today. The offseason dates were recently released, and according to the collective bargaining agreement, it is important to clarify how the early phases of the program actually work. The first phase spans the first 2 weeks, where activities are limited to meetings, physical training, conditioning, and rehabilitation. The second phase extends through the next 3 weeks, allowing for on-field practices that include individual or group instruction, along with exercises focused on precise execution, with the offensive line facing the defense in a simulation-style rhythm, no contact, and no offense versus defense drills. To be clear, this refers to the first phase, where there are no organized activities or minicamps. What happens is teamwork in the weight room and classroom activities, which are extremely valuable in the early stages. Athletes recovering from injuries will be able to return and continue their rehabilitation, such as Braxton Jones and others. This interaction is vital, as everyone is at the center at the same time, providing opportunities for direct contact between players and coaches, something that was not previously possible. Injuries can be addressed through rehabilitation, and there are athletes who may return, such as Braxton Jones and others. Andrew Billings is also notable in this situation. The key is having everyone at the location simultaneously, allowing for meaningful direct interactions between coaches and players, something that was not possible before. Now, let's look at the off-season schedule, with players returning today, as mentioned. There will be a voluntary minicamp in the coming weeks, where they can participate in some on-field activities, which I believe will fit into the second phase. After that, 3 organized activities are planned for late May and early June, in addition to a mandatory minicamp. The rookie minicamp will take place after the draft, or about 2 weeks later, and we are still awaiting confirmation of that date. Training is set to begin in late July and will run through most of August. Therefore, Bears football is officially back, and there will be little free time from now on, except for the break between the end of OTAs and the start of training. Daily updates on what is happening at Hallis Hall, including news about the draft and potential signings, will be provided. There are 5 goals I hope the team will achieve, especially during this early phase. Ben Johnson is setting the pace, and cliches like establishing a culture are often used. A large part of building this culture is about winning. In recent years, we've heard how positive the culture was, but it deteriorated last year, especially in the 3rd year under the current direction, where not only did the team fail to win, but it also faced significant regression. This can lead to a quick dismantling. During the owners' meetings, Ben Johnson mentioned that his first speech to the team would be today, and he indicated that he would spend the weekend preparing for it. It may sound a bit cliché, almost like a school presentation, but in many ways, it is about demonstrating leadership. If you're in the Hallis Auditorium, the expectation is that you convince everyone that you have the capacity to lead. Preparing may sound a bit cliché, almost like a school project presented in front of a class. In many ways, it's about persuading others that you have the ability to lead. If you find yourself in such an environment, it sets the tone and establishes a standard. I recall someone mentioning this while remembering a memorable inaugural speech from a former coach. This person quickly realized that things weren't going to unfold as expected, and this insight is relevant, especially coming from someone who had worked in the organization at high level for many years. This aspect is really important. Therefore, it is essential for the coach and those who speak to raise the bar and do so firmly from the start. After all, in any aspect of life, first impressions carry a lot of weight. While it's possible to recover later, these early moments often define future opportunities. As someone who frequently interviews candidates for positions, I can say that a bad first impression significantly reduces the chances of moving forward to subsequent interviews. That's just the nature of these situations. Moving forward, the connection between the young quarterback and the offensive coordinator is crucial. They've already made some contact, having met during a press conference where other players were also present. This relationship is critical for the organization. It is necessary for them to be aligned and start working effectively together. Although challenges may arise along the way, building this trust is vital. The coordinator needs to challenge the quarterback, and the quarterback must be willing to push himself to new heights, always under the guidance of the coordinator and other coaches. This connection is essential for the success of the team, and it must start immediately. This goes beyond football aspects. It also involves personal relationships and connections, much like how friendships develop in everyday life. There's a lot more to address, but notable brands recognize the importance of these dynamics. It begins right away, encompassing not just the football elements on the field, but also the value of nurturing connections, much like in our daily lives. There's still much to cover, so let's keep going. Do you recall the feeling of launching your favorite game for the very first time? Maybe as a child, you got a gaming console that ignited those late-night adventures filled with thrilling victories, alongside the joy of your friends joining in. Gaming was not just an activity, it was an immersive journey. The right headphones can greatly enhance that journey. A new headset evokes the fond memories of gaming's golden era, now equipped with superior sound quality, immersive surround audio, and impressive battery longevity. The days of crackling mics or missed messages are behind us, offering a gaming experience that's pure and uninterrupted, but upgraded. The improvement in spatial audio has taken gaming to new heights, especially in fast-paced titles. Furthermore, the option to link to a phone while connected to a console enables streaming music or handling calls at the same time, allowing you to enjoy your favorite tunes while gaming. Shifting to the offensive strategy development, it's clear that building connections and fostering a supportive atmosphere are vital. Delving into the details of offensive and defensive maneuvers resembles starting fresh with the playbook each time there's a new coaching team. While there may be some schematic resemblances to previous offenses or defenses faced, the current offensive focus is on enhancing the relationships among key players. It's time to kick off the playbook's implementation. Those additional weeks will likely prove advantageous. There are overlapping schematic elements from past offensive or defensive experiences, but for the current squad, the offensive strategy centers around cultivating rapport among key players. The playbook installation process is essential, particularly in classroom environments, to explore various concepts and challenge players with more advanced questions. This strategy is applicable to all athletes. The offensive coordinator has highlighted the need to tailor offensive plans to the existing talent, currently centered around a core group of athletes. It is expected that more vital players will be integrated during the draft, specifically a running back. The aim is to maximize the capabilities of these individuals. Past seasons showcased areas where this potential was not fully realized, especially with certain athletes who did not meet expectations statistically. Identifying efficient methods to unlock their productivity is critical. Everything starts with the offense's installation, as that sets the groundwork. Anticipation for a strong offensive lineup has been growing for years, which is why there was a search for the top offensive coach available. Building this offense from scratch is fundamental, and this journey truly commences today. It's crucial to identify which skill player will be the most impactful moving forward, and that player may not yet be part of the roster. Thoughts on this topic can be expressed in the comments below. While the defense is also in the process of being developed, adopting a more aggressive approach will be essential. Traditionally, the defensive strategies utilized have favored man coverage, using strategic deception, especially in the backfield, with a more assertive attitude. This doesn't mean a constant blitzing strategy, but instead taking a more offensive posture to confuse rival teams and their quarterbacks. Teams often adopt a more individual coverage and hide their defensive formations, especially in the backfield, reflecting a more aggressive mindset. This doesn't imply the strategy is similar to some defenders who pressured the quarterback in half of the plays, but it highlights an intent to disorient opponents and their quarterbacks. There were occasions when the defense stood out and achieved significant success, but it was not guided by an offensive mindset. Instead, it relied on the efficient execution of all players' roles simultaneously. While this is crucial for any defense, using schemes with 2 or 3 defenders in coverage and applying pressure with only 4 athletes on 80 to 90% of the plays requires exceptional execution from everyone involved, along with a remarkable roster across all 3 levels of the game. Without this synchronization, it tends to fail against strong attacks and tough opponents. This trend became evident as the defense performed better against weaker teams, but struggled against stronger competitors, highlighting the need for a bolder approach and an attack-minded mentality. This emphasis on mindset from the start is considered essential. Furthermore, with athletes returning to activities, it is possible that some have recently spent time together, while many took vacations with their families, updating their personal matters, and traveling. Last year, a term frequently mentioned was accountability, which seemed to be lacking in the coaching staff. While it was understandable for athletes to express this concern, they also need to hold themselves accountable and challenge each other. It is the coaching staff's role to set a standard and cultivate an environment of accountability, but players also need to take on this responsibility. Some team members must become natural leaders to ensure their peers remain accountable, which is crucial. Ultimately, coaches can guide to a certain extent. It's up to the players to make the plays. They need to operate cohesively as a unit, recognizing the importance of collaboration and responsibility in the team dynamic. It is vital to ensure accountability is present, as this will have a significant impact on the team's overall success. In the end, coaches have a limited role. The athletes are the ones on the field making the plays. They need to work together cohesively, and it is crucial that they do not hesitate to confront a teammate who isn't meeting the required standards. Although it's still early in the preparation program, there's a saying that if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. With a new coaching staff and a goal of building a championship organization, adopting this mindset is crucial. Otherwise, some individuals may find themselves on the sidelines. Therefore, it is essential that these players cultivate the right mindset, not just for themselves, but also among their teammates, to face this challenge from day one. As the off-season program unfolds, there are several goals I hope will be achieved in the coming weeks. Any updates or relevant information that arises will be communicated. If you share the excitement of having football back, feel free to express that enthusiasm. We will meet later today if any updates arise, and more information, notes, and updates about the draft will follow as we approach the event, which will take place in about 2.5 weeks. So, there's a lot to discuss this afternoon. Be sure to turn on notifications to stay informed about when we'll be live, which should be around 4 o'clock Central Time. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Chicago Bears appear to be plotting a bold move that could shake up the NFC North, and it involves one of their longtime tormentors. League sources suggest that the Bears are showing strong interest in acquiring Aaron Jones, the veteran running back who just wrapped up an impressive season with the Minnesota Vikings. This isn't just another off-season rumor. It's a pursuit that's gaining momentum, and it could have major implications for both the Bears' offense and the balance of power in the division. Jones, who carved up the Bears' defense for 106 yards and a touchdown in their Week 12 clash, has a history of high-stakes performances, especially against Chicago. Back in Week 1 of 2023, as a Green Bay Packer, he logged both a rushing and receiving touchdown before exiting with a hamstring injury. Despite missing time that season, he finished strong with 3 consecutive 130-plus yard games and a franchise record playoff showing against the Cowboys. That kind of clutch production hasn't gone unnoticed in Chicago's front office. What makes Jones so appealing to the Bears is not just his numbers. The 1,138 rushing yards and 408 receiving yards in 2024 are nothing to scoff at. It's his versatility, leadership, and track record of rising to the occasion. With a young quarterback still developing, the Bears are reportedly seeking a proven playmaker who can shoulder the offensive load and serve as a dynamic dual threat. Jones checks all the boxes, and then some. The move would also carry a layer of poetic justice for Chicago fans. After years of watching Jones torch their defense in green and gold, and most recently in purple, welcoming him into Hallis Hall would be more than a strategic upgrade. It would be a symbolic statement of ambition. The Bears have cap flexibility and a clear need at running back, making them one of the few teams with both the motivation and means to land a veteran of Jones' caliber. While no deal is imminent, insiders suggest that Chicago's interest is very real, and that conversations could heat up quickly if Jones becomes available or indicates openness to a move. For now, the NFC North watches and waits, and Bears fans dream of seeing number 33 bulldozing defenders in navy and orange instead of against them. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.